Shalom Akim, your brother Ratazar Allah from GMS London camp. First and foremost, give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bar Hashem Yahweh Shai, Bar Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone who teach and rule well. Blessings unto the hopeful elect, Bakwa Yakodash, and the four winds, man. You know, the World War III is definitely brewing. You know, it's about to overboil at that cauldron of war pot that's brewing right now. And you know, brothers, well, we know, as the scriptures say, to watch as well as pray, man, because these prophecies, especially these last major prophecies, are coming to pass sooner than we think, man. So it's a good time right now, and it's a blessed time, because it's time for us to rejoice, for, you know, our salvation is nigh at hand, man, you know. So, you know, brothers may know on the news, RT especially, talking about this Iran nuclear deal, and America being, you know, so-called big bad wolves that they are, just pulled out of the nuclear deal over there. And Iran saying that basically what they did was an illegal move, man. As it says in this headline here, it says Iran will remain in the nuclear deal, but US withdrawal is illegal. It says Rouhani. So that's what the president, Hassan Rouhani, said. Basically what they did was an illegal move, and America's well known for doing that, man. They love doing that shit. They love going against international laws. They love going against their treaties that they make. And this is why the nations are mad. And this is what's going to spur, or head spur, Lord willing, for that World War III clash, man. The final touchdown, man. You know what I'm saying? So, Lord willing, you know, things just go downhill from here on out. You know, even more, and the Spurs out of control, man. Because you know, more and more BS that America keeps doing, they ain't gonna be able to turn back the hands of the clock of time. You know, the time of judgment is at hand, and they ain't gonna you know, go over or surpass that you know, that limit for them to rule, man, because the Lord said that they ain't gonna bypass that, man. It tells you that in the book of Job. The minute that they're supposed to go down, they're gonna go down, and we're in the midst of it. So it's a blessed time, man, for the elect, for the men that are sighing and crying for the abominations in this wicked ass society, man. It says Donald Trump's decision to pull the US out of the Iranian nuclear deal is illegal. It says illegitimate and violating international agreements, and that's what America is known for, man. Especially with the UN, the councils and that, they love breaking international laws. You know, with the situation over there, bombing Syria over these false chemical weapon attacks. You know that you know, the elites, the global elites orchestrate. You know, all that abkeo, false flags that they be doing. You know, with no evidence provided. So they're always breaking international laws. Other situations that they've done that as well. You know, with Iraq back in the day. You know, different world leaders that they, you know, sent the jackals in. If you brothers know about the economic hitmen, so when they send the jackals to take out so-called leaders that they set up, you know, that go against the grain and want to set up their own governments and policies that these international bankers ain't feeling, man. Or when they want to, you know, set up an IMF bank and all that in these different countries. But anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling on. It says Iranian President Hassan Rouhani in televised address. It says Rouhani said that Iran has always complied with the nuclear deal and is going to stay in the accord despite the US pullout. It says the Iranian Foreign Ministry was instructed to hold talks on the nuclear deal with the EU. It says Russia and China within the next few weeks. So America's just going to get themselves into a more and more of a shit stew that they can't get out of, man. You know, because as the scripture says, the nations are mad, man. They're drunk of that wine, the fornication, all these different treaties and shit that they had with the different nations, business ventures. And America always do what? Backstab, man. That's what they're known for, man. The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and to destroy. You say they come with their smooth words, but the scripture says that war's in their heart. And it's talking about these Edomites, man, these so-called white people, the devil of the Bible, man, the great deceivers of the earth, you know. So it says, if we achieve the deal's goals in cooperation with other members of the deal, it says it will remain in place by exciting the deal. It says America has officially undermined its commitment to an international treaty, Rouhani said. It says the president called Trump's decision to quit the agreement an historic experience for Iran. It says, adding to that Washington had never fulfilled its commitment as part of the 2015 international agreement. That's right, man, because they can't fulfill agreements, man, because they always got a hidden agenda. And it starts with the global elites, man, these Jewish rats, man, that are ruling. You know, the Dukes of Edom. It says early on Tuesday, Trump announced that Washington will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal and that sanctions will be imposed against Tehran. It says the US president argued that the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, didn't it prevent Iran from enriching uranium and would have caused a nuclear arms race in the Middle East. Says today's action sends a critical message. The US no longer makes empty threats. Says when I make promises, I keep them. Trump says, yeah, but that shit's gonna come back to bite you in the ass, man. Because you know, you're the plague of the earth right now, man. You're the one that's going around trying to boss these nations around, making deals, and then you know, shoddy deals, and then you're dropping out of them, trying to backstab, you know, your partners out of the deals, man. You know, because you want ultimate power, man. You want ultimate control of the natural resources and the economies of those different countries, man. But you know, it's not going to go to your intended plan, because you know, your new world order you're trying to accomplish right now, you're going to succeed to a certain extent with the RFID, the mark of the beast, when you implement that, make that mandatory. But that's going to come back to snare you and bite you in the arse, man. The Lord going to set you up in the jinn, you know, and that jinn is Yahweh Shai, Lord and Savior, you ignorant called Jesus Christ, and also it's those nuclear missiles, man. Those nuclear missile deals that you're doing, going back and forth with these countries, and you keep fucking around and messing around with these treaties that you're making up, breaking international laws. That shit's gonna come back to bite you in the ass, man. With this IAEA and all that, the International Atomic Energy Agency that you keep setting up to go and, you know, go into different countries and, you know, trying to, you know, so search out the endeavors of their nuclear capabilities. You know, it's gonna come back to bite you devils in the arse, man. It's a beautiful time, man, because this is in the scriptures, man. It's written down as prophecy, because these things that must come to pass. This is Jeremiah 51, and I'll read 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord and Yahweh's hands. Yeah, because you was once at the height of your kingdom, but now you're falling, you're declining, man. Drastically, man, and you ain't never gonna rise again, man, to that height of your kingdom with the, you know, the space war, I mean, you know, the space race and all that stuff that you had back in the 50s, 60s, 70s and all that, you know, your nuclear capabilities that you got now, you know, you being the head honcho on the earth, but now all these other nations have got the so-called nuclear capabilities as well, and they're gonna use that shit against you. It says that made all the earth drunken. Yeah, man, they got drunken off your philosophy of being westernized, you know, following your democracy, so to speak, democratic ways, and it's all BS, man. It's all vain and it's temporary, man. Because this kingdom ain't eternal. It's not gonna go to your future endeavors, man. Of you thinking you're gonna rule forever, you're gonna go into captivity once the Lord comes back, man. You know, it says the nations have drunken of her wine. Yeah, man, they're drunken of the wine. It says therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, all these treaties that you keep doing and backing out of, you know, fucking up people's economies and all that, you know, it's gonna, you know, especially with that petrodollar, and then now all these nations have dumped the dollar and all that, so they don't want to deal with America no more. They're trying to build their own and set up their own economies and all that monetary systems between themselves, man. So this is verse 8, it says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, how for her? Take balm for her pain. It says if so she may be healed. It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his country, his own country. And that's why these other nations, China, all that, they don't want to deal with America no more, man. That's why you're having these tariff wars and trade wars with China, America and China going back and forth. Now these situations with the nuclear trade agreement that's just, you know, falling apart basically because of America. You know, everyone's just going to turn to their own people, man. You know, they want to leave America out of it, and that's going to, you know, climax into this World War III. You know what I'm saying? So it says for our judgment reach up unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So I'm going to jump to read one more scripture and close up. Sure. This is Revelations 17 and 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's what will come to climax, World War III. You know, and there's no turning back, man. America's, you know, got themselves into a shit stew, and they keep getting, you know, it keeps piling up. Basically, they're going to be able to get themselves out of it to the point of no return, man, because World War III is inevitable. It's written in the scriptures as part of the Lord's prophecy for the children of Israel to get out of it, man. You know, the elect to be delivered. So this is beautiful, man. The brothers keep watching and praying, and Lord willing, just be out of this bitch sooner rather than later, man. So anyway, I'm gonna close out, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash, Barakatam to the elect. Shalom, man. Shalom.